me and other fans, especially of my favorite properties.
You went and saw The Last Jedi, right?
Yeah, that was first showing Thursday.
So you're all right. I'm no spoilers. You like the movie?
Oh yeah, I thought it was really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's been mixed reports on that one. I'm gonna get to go see it on Monday. So
I don't know what's up with that, honestly. I think it's just people being contrary.
yeah,
That's
well,
just
they
to be
argue about
contrary.
everything all
Yeah.
the time. You haven't seen it yet, though.
I haven't. I've been trying to stay off of all social media.
Yeah.
No, YouTube's the worst.
There-
too.
Yeah.
There is a lot more bombs than I thought there'd be, so be really careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm just scrolling through, like, looking at other things, not even that, and all of a sudden I see a video. Why did the new Star Wars movie fail? And it's like, wait, what?
Yeah,
What did it
exactly.
fail?
And so that's where
Those
my
a lot of those
issue is
videos are
with
clickbait.
YouTubers. Like,
Because there's I immediately went on after I saw it because I wanted to be engaged in all that discussion, and a lot of those are clickbait. Like you'll click on it and they'll be like this or that, and then they'll be I actually really liked it and I thought it was a masterpiece, and then they'll just nitpick one or two things.
well, that's dumb though.
Or it'll be like a what if, oh, it could have failed, if they did this instead of what they actually did or whatever.
Yeah, well, once again, we're dealing with the facts here, and it's like
No, I could.
from everybody I've heard, it's been a good movie. I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it's very unique. It gives you things you didn't expect in a very good way, and it's not that predictable. It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, I was coming out of there like when I saw Force Awakens, I felt a lot of nostalgia, and I was like, oh, this is really good. I like everything that's happening and stuff. But I came out of this one legitimately I feel like a little kid again.
Yeah.
Watching the Phantom Menace and just being completely wide-eyed.
What do you give it as a letter grade?
A letter grade? I'd give it an A-.
Oh, that's pretty high.
Yeah, that's
All right, comparison then. What do you rank it against the other Star Wars movies? This is kind of something I did.
It's pretty much the only one that can really maybe be in the same room as Empire Strikes Back.
Mm-hmm.
All the other Star Wars movies are kind of chilling in the other room.
Yeah.
And Last Jedi is kind of like peeking in at Empire, oh, can I hang out? And Empire's
nice.
Sure, I'm by myself in here. Somebody hang out with me.
Well, Return of the Jedi, in my opinion, gets into that category because I really just like Luke igniting the green lightsaber. And
I like Return of the Jedi. I'm actually a legitimate Ewok fan. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah, I like the Ewoks.
I thought the Ewoks to me were a lot like the pod racing, where they spent a lot of time on that.
Yeah,
subject
that's
when
true.
it took away from
That's
the film.
true.
I didn't think it took away anything necessarily with Return of the Jedi, but it was definitely not what you could tell that it wasn't what they originally planned for. They planned for those Wookiees to be there. And of course, if it wasn't for financial issues, I think that Lucas probably would have had it Kashyyyk instead of Endor. So, plus it makes more sense with even the stuff that you hear in the novels and things like that. That maybe the Death Star should have been placed next to Kashyyyk. They had a more of a vice grip on it in their overall universe.
Yeah, I try not to be too critical, especially the prequels, just because I did legitimately enjoy them as a kid.
Same.
And I'm trying to think of these movies I'm not trying to be an adult and be all nitpicky. I'm trying to think these are kids movies. Ewoks are cuddly, kid things. Pod racers, really cool thing a kid could have fun with.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Even Jar Jar.
It's good that you don't
flopping
get
around
caught
that.
into that the adult Star Wars fan vibe. It wasn't dark enough.
Yeah.
I want the Sith and the darkness and more darkness. No, you don't need that much darkness.
As an adult, you should want more stupid
jokes and humor. Yeah,
that's another thing. I didn't expect this movie to be as funny as it was.
Yeah, that's the other report I've been hearing. Is that it's kind of funny. I thought that Force Awakens had a lot of funny jokes.
There were parts where
lighter thing.
Yeah.
That thing got me.
There were parts where it was funny when it shouldn't have been, but it worked. Yeah, and it's
timing.
It's more realistic because that was one of the weird things about the prequels was that it was so serious all the time.
Well, other than
Jar
Jar.
Yeah, but then that was the weird part. It's why would they have it? It's too conflicting. In real life, when you're in a really shitty situation, you'll make jokes to lighten the mood and stuff.
Well, it's like Han Solo.
And that's what makes the original trilogy really good. Is
never tell me the odds.
Yeah, it's they're about to die.
I love you.
They're all just cracking jokes and that's what happens, you know. That's how, you know, there's like the soldier camaraderie and stuff like in real life, and that's like.
Well, that's what I liked about Rogue One. Rogue One was more the soldier basis, and that was really cool to me. Yeah, I heard so much backlash about that, and like you said about the animation of those two characters before we started filming.
I thought it was interesting. I'm glad they went for it. You know, it's like it's cool to like because the original Star Wars that's another thing about them is like the technological feat that they were doing on all the special effects. It's like there should be like experimentation, and they should try new things.
That's what I like about Episode
Even if
1.
it doesn't work.
And that's what was cool about when George Lucas went back into the special editions, in my opinion. Like, he wasn't done with it. He wanted to do more with it.
Yeah, because like as a kid, I thought they were really impressive, but once I started watching like newer movies with CGI and stuff, like watching the old Star Wars can be a little bit.
Well, it's off-putting because you're seeing something that wasn't digitally animated and something that was, so it kind of upsets that balance.
I rewatched all 6 of the Star Wars films before Force Awakens came out, and that's something I noticed, like especially with the space battles of the spaceships. Like in the first 2, it's kind of like a little bit janky and a little bit strange, but then in Return of the Jedi, the final space battles is like, holy shit, this was in 83 or whatever when it came out. I was like, that is like, and that it almost holds up to like the fight in the 3rd prequel too. Yeah, like that's also like pretty impressive.
The drop in the very beginning of the shot.
Yeah, it's like literally the best CG of the entire series, with maybe the exception of like the other really good CG in that movie is like the lava planet, the final fight between Obi-Wan.
Mustafar. Mustafar. Well, I like that they paid homage to it in Rogue One. They actually went back there for Vader's palace and everything.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool.
So that you could see it. The dumb little Vader joke in there, you know, don't choke on your aspirations.
Yeah, I thought the Rogue One final battle was probably one of the best battles in the entire series.
That was. I like how there's the ground to air assault going on at the same time.
Yeah, and it's just like your heart's pumping, and then it's like it's all leading up to that part where they're like the rebels are running from Darth Vader, and it's just like that movie's just like dropping bombs at the bottom of it.
When Vader comes in at the end, spoiler alert if you haven't seen Rogue One, but that sequence. Yeah,
and then the hammerhead like pushing the star. Oh, it's like so epic.
Yeah,
and that's what I really didn't like about Force Awakens. The one gripe I had with it was like there wasn't a really epic space battle, really.
Not really. It was just TIE fighters versus X-wings on Takudana and.
It was all. It was like all ground, like. Yeah, ground stuff. Ground battles.
Yeah. Speaking of terrible ground battles, the Gungans against the droid army in the first one.
I liked the droid army. I just thought it was kind of interesting how it was like, because I just liked as a kid like the toy. I had like the tank thing, and like you could pull out the little like droid soldiers and stuff, and it was like just how it was all very like mass produced and robotic.
No, we were talking about the Audibles. There's actually the Aftermath series. It's a trilogy of books that come right after Return of the Jedi, and they take and modify the kid in there, Snap Wexley, who's actually in Force Awakens. He's the chunkier X-wing fighter pilot that's in Poe's squadron.
Okay,
That's Snap Wexley.
New Porkins?
Basically New Porkins, but not. I don't think he dies at the end of 7. He's still alive by the end of it. But he, in the book Aftermath, he takes and reprograms a B-1 battle droid and basically puts like laser swords on his arm and teaches him ballet moves, and apparently he starts killing all kinds of stormtroopers and stuff. So apparently B1s were more nimble than what they were in those movies, and he figured out a way to make them faster and better process.
Oh, really?
Anyways, that's besides the point. But that's the only, I would like to see a bunch of modified B1s fighting something. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Just a cage match between K2SO and a modified B1 battle droid. Seems like a good one. Or a trivia match in Star Wars about it.